Today I'm going to speak with you all about why you should choose to bank umbilical cord blood. First off, what is cord blood? The New York Blood Center states that after a baby is born and the umbilical cord is cut, some blood remains in the blood vessels of the placenta and the umbilical cord that's still attached to it. The child no longer needs the extra blood in the umbilical cord, and most times it's just disposed of. That blood is full of blood-forming stem cells and contains both red and white blood cells, as well as platelets and plasma. Because of elements included in that blood, it is using that cord blood for transplants is just as though you're using the blood from bone marrow. My goal today is to convince you of the importance and convenience of umbilical cord blood banking. First off, it's easy to collect and use cord blood for transplantation. It's posted on the New York Blood Center's website that the collection is a safe, simple procedure. The New York Blood Center's National Cord Blood Program staff collects cord blood from the delivered placenta, which doesn't interfere with the care of the mother or the newborn baby. Simply put, the umbilical cord is collected, drained, and the contents are stored in a liquid nitrogen freezer to await transplants and/or research. Normally, that cord blood is stored greater than 10 years, or it can be stored greater than 10 years. When a transplant is done with cord blood that is that old, the success rate is still just as high as new cord blood. That actually is 10 years longer than bone marrow. Now that we understand how easy it is to collect cord blood and use it for transplants, let's take a look at how it differs from bone marrow. Cord blood transplantation is in many ways better than bone marrow transplantation. Unfortunately, there are possible ethical issues in both cord blood and bone marrow transplants and research. It is asked by a parent's guide to cord blood, how can we ensure ethnic diversity in public cord blood registries? The site goes on to explain that even though cord blood is not always going to match the recipient, cord blood doesn't have to match precisely like bone marrow does. Cord blood allows more of a chance to find a match, a less amount of donors, and a larger amount of recipients. Again, shelf life for cord blood is normally greater than 10 years so far. Cord blood used straight from the freezer. Cord blood is used straight from the freezer, while bone marrow has to be fresh. The freshness allows extra time for donors to think about the decision. Sometimes they back out of the procedure. Once frozen cord blood is available, once it's frozen cord blood, it's available until it's used. There is a small risk when choosing cord blood over bone marrow. A larger dose of marrow takes less time for infragmentation of cells. A smaller dose for cord blood is all that's needed, but it takes longer to engraft those cells. Also, if a person was to need a second transplant from that donor for bone marrow, usually that donor is still available. That is not the case for cord blood. Now that we understand that cord blood transplants are the more successful option, let's take a look at having the convenience of choosing how you bank your baby's cord blood. You have two options when you choose to bank your cord blood. You have private banking and public banking. Private banking allows you to hold onto that cord blood for specific use for your family. However, that is not without a fee. It's quoted by babycenter.com that private cord blood banks charge an enrollment and collection fee ranging from about $775 to $2,150, plus an annual fee ranging from about $85 to $150. You can store it for free, but only if you have a sibling or a parent with one of the diseases that can be successfully treated with cord blood transplants. Public banking allows you to donate the cord blood for public use or research for free. also stated on the Baby Center website, the American Society for Blood and Marrow Transplantation offered recommendations in its 2008 policy statement against private banking for most families. This group, as well as others, favors public cord banking. Public cord banking provides hope to recipients who have no matching donor in their family and has little time to find a matching donor. You may get your donated cord blood back also, but be aware that it's available for any patient who matches, as well as for research. So I've shown you how easy it is to have cord blood collected and donated for transplantation. I've shown you also differences between cord blood and bone marrow transplants, and I've shown you that you have two options available for you when choosing how you want to do that cord blood banking. Unfortunately, without the generous donations made by so many people, there would be people that are not alive today. It is my wish that you now know how very important it is to not allow the cord blood of your child's birth to just be thrown away with the trash. Thank you.